to another episode of the Ingrid Pink Podcast. Ingrid Pink Podcast. So, hello, I am your host. My name is Ingrid Pinkett, and Ingy Pink, if you want to, that's INGIEPINK. So today we're going to dive into a topic that is near and dear to me and to many of us. We're going to talk about some routines. And I have my notes over here on the side so I can stay on task, because I want to stay on task. I don't want to hold up too much of your time or anything like that. So, and I got my notes over here. That's why you got my glasses on. Because, you know, when I talk to you guys in the morning on IP's in, if you have not went over and checked out my 90-day thing that I am doing for social media, I just give you a little blurb of what is on my brain, okay, every morning. And that is on IP's Inside and Out Journey. And so I put my IP tidbits over there. So that's where they go. I might share them in other places and stuff like that, but I don't have that many followers over there, so I can be really, really real and say what I want on there. So that has a lot to do with that. But anyway, getting back to routines, or more specifically, how breaking through those routines can lead us into incredible new beginnings. So if you're feeling stuck, you are in a rut, this episode is absolutely for you. It is for you. Please, please, please pay attention. Please listen. I am a woman of routine. I do a lot of, routine. I have lists for everything. And I am always, and when I get off on something, I remember, just to give you a little bit about me, is that because as a, I have so many thoughts running in my brain, but as a executive administrator, business facilitator and consultant, I have a lot of routines and a lot of things that I do that go round and round and round, as far as they're the same things every day. Even if I do them for different clients or things like that, it's usually the same thing. And I remember years ago when I was doing this, was that I would get frustrated. Like if there was a monkey wrench thrown in or anything like that, or something threw my day off, it would throw like my whole day off. It would throw my mood off. It would throw my attitude off. It would throw everything off. And but just as I have become more seasoned, I've realized that that's actually an asset. That is an asset. And so I don't need to be as concerned about when things don't kind of flow forward the way that I need them to. So let's just get going, and enough about what I was talking about. Let's get going and let's talk about routines. We all have them, right? We all have routines. Whether we wake up at a certain time, or we're having a specific morning ritual, or even the way we structure our work day. Like I was talking about, as things start unfolding, I would get a little frustrated with things that were going on. But yes, personally, I am a big believer in routines. and definitely because they help me stay organized. They help me stay productive. I rely on lists to keep my day-to-day on track. And I've also seen how, when I adhere to my routine, how it influences every aspect of my life, from when I was raising my children, who are now grown people now, but also teaching them the importance of structure and discipline and things like that, but also teaching myself as I was going through those things and working for yourself. Even if you're working part-time for yourself, having that routine when you get up or when you come home from work, and you know there are certain things that you just automatically do when you walk in the door. There are certain things that you turn off or turn on, or, different stuff, whether you go to the gym, whether you work out at home, whether you have your days that you hang out with your friends, whatever it is, that routine keeps you moving and keeps you going, and you feel good when you have done those things and accomplished those things. So routines do have benefits, no doubt. They keep us on track, they help us maintain organization, and they ensure that we're continuously moving forward. We're continuously moving forward. And if you think about it, without a routine, it is so easy to let things slip through the cracks. So the routine gives our days a sense of order and purpose in what we're doing. It gives us that. And so sometimes there can be challenges with our routine. And I was talking a little bit about that, about how I felt when challenges would come up. And we want to be real in this, is that routines can prevent challenges. And just think about how many of us hesitate towards certain tasks. I know I can't stand to wash dishes. I will clean the whole kitchen. I will scrub the walls and everything. But from the time that I was little, I hated washing dishes. But there was something that needed to be done. And so I had to incorporate that in my routine. How many of us hesitate toward certain tasks just because they're a part of our routine? Or you kind of feel overwhelmed when something unforeseen pops up and disturbs your carefully planned out day, right? A lack of flexibility in that can sometimes make that routine feel more like a cage than a support system. Because my routine, your routine, I'm sure supports you in everything that you're doing in your day. It gets you motivated. It keeps you going. It makes sure that you get those things done that are necessary in order to move your day forward. But what happens when something disturbs that? What do you do? Just think about that for a minute. Take a moment to think about, what do you do when something disturbs your day? How do you handle that? How do you look at that? How do you let that affect the rest of your day, or even your evening with your family or friends or coworkers or clients or customers? How does that affect that? Think about that for a minute. I've experienced, of course, my share of frustrations when my routine was disrupted. It's easy to feel off balance, and it is easy to get annoyed. That is something that's innately in us. It's like, dang it, I was going to do this and then this happened. So it is easy to just let them feelings start to move around and become, instead of being extremely positive, in a certain instance, they become a little negative, right? So it is easy to get off balance and annoyed. But over time, I have definitely learned that disruptions are not just inevitable, they're necessary. And what they do is they force us to adapt and grow. Because see, when my routine gets shaken, as it often opens up my mind to new opportunities. I've found, excuse me, let me grab me a little sip of my tea. Forgive me here. With my cup that says gorgeous. If you guys haven't got yours, run on over to Korean Enterprises. They sell these two for $5. Anyway, that was a shameless plug, but I had to put that in there. They force us to adapt and grow. And when my routine gets shaken up, it often opens up my mind, like I said, to new opportunities. I found that these disruptions definitely bring me closer to my personal goals in unexpected ways. And sometimes we may call them disruptions. We may call them adjustments. We may call them pivots, shifts. God or the universe's way of taking us to the place where we are supposed to be, as opposed to where we are supposed to be, as opposed to where we feel like we need to be. right? So keep that in mind. Do you need to be there, or are you supposed to be here? I think that's something that we should think about. And I think about a lot when I have a disruption going on in my plan. I think I have told you guys that I am on a journey, a 90-day journey. I'm going to be on the East Coast over here working and doing my thing and putting some things together for almost 6 months. And yes, I came with a plan. I tell you, it was a plan that I was like, okay, this gonna happen, and this is gonna happen, and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. But every step along the way has been an adjustment. There has been so many twists and curves and pivots and all of that sometimes I look, it's blowing my hair back. And y'all, like I tell y'all, I ain't got no hair, but it has shocked me in a lot of ways. Some of them absolutely amazing ways, how they have unfolded, because what the enemy thought was for something negative, when I looked at it in the big scheme of things, and what unfolded afterward was absolutely positive. And so I have realized that it's not where I need to be, but it's not where I feel I need to be, but it is where God has aligned the universe of where I should be. And making that adjustment, or making that pivot, or welcoming the distraction in an unexpected way takes me to a place that I would have never ever thought that I would be. I never ever thought that I would be in the situation that I am in right now, to be able to bless other people with not just anything that doesn't change their life, but to be able to bless someone with a home that absolutely, you can bless someone with a house. You can say this is where you live, but when you make it comfortable and you make it livable and you make it warm and inviting, and you say, these are the terms for you to be here because I want you here, that just doesn't make it a place to dwell. That makes it a home. And I would have never ever thought that I would be in the position to be able to do that for other people, not just myself, but for other people. And so when you come with that mindset, when you have a purpose, or for your destination of the places that you're trying to go, and you map out that plan, out, and then distractions make you have to adjust. They make you have to pivot. They make you have to do other things that were not on your plan. I am telling you, that is elevation. That is moving up. That is new levels, sometimes bring other devils. But as we have always been told, or maybe you haven't, and this is the first time you're hearing it, you take those things because they become your stepping stones to the next level. Y'all don't get me to talking, because I can tell you, y'all gonna get, look, whoo, I'm getting super emotional. But when I tell you that I would have never anticipated this, never, ever, ever. So how do you stay calm in the distractions, in the pivots that you have to make? It starts with accepting and understanding that the change is part of your life. That's part of life. That's part of existence. That's part of who we are as we're moving forward. So embrace it. Don't resist it. When you fight against it, when you're angry and you're disruptive and you're destructive, when it comes to time that distraction comes in, and you have to make the adjustments accordingly, so it's not where you feel you need to be, but you're going in a place where you should be, because that is going to bring the best results for the place that you want to be. You have to understand, see that disruption as an opportunity rather than an obstacle. When you approach that change with an open mind, you'll find that new opportunities often arise from the most unexpected places. And I am here to tell you that that is absolutely true. There is no way that I would be able to do what I am doing right now if it wasn't for the fact that I knew. I said to myself, and my daddy taught me, he said, there's always going to be an X factor. He said, you can plan for the X factor, but some things you cannot plan for. He said, but when the X factor comes, take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Look at how much and how far you have come. Y'all, woo, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it, because there is no way that if I fought against some of the stuff that has happened and has come along the way in my life, I would not be talking to you guys right now. I would not be here sharing my heart and my experiences with you to be able to help you get through whatever it is in your life, so that you know that the need is over here. You know what you need to do. But trust me when I tell you that the need, the should, and when the should is aligned with where it is that you are going, even if you don't see it, sometimes you just have to trust the unknown. You have to move forward in that. You have to say to yourself, I am going to trust this, because everything inside of you, and listen to that small, still voice. I had to really tune into that, because I've made some huge decisions in my life. When you really listen to that small, still voice, and if you run those scenarios, even those X factors, even the things that you think shoulda, woulda, coulda, maybe possibility might happen, when you run all of that through and you still have peace, even if you don't know what's going to come next, then you know you are in the right place. Don't give it that other energy. Don't, just because you see that obstacle in front of you, don't concentrate on that. Think about, if this obstacle has come up, what's the worst thing that can happen with this obstacle? What is the thing? How am I going to adjust? What do I need to do to adjust? And sometimes the only thing you need to adjust is your thinking. That's the only thing you need to adjust. I can tell you that is true, because I had to do that. I had to adjust my thinking. When you adjust your thinking, especially if you're going after something that is going to take you to another level in life, you sometimes have to adjust your thinking from where you were before in life. If you had a poverty mindset before, and you was always struggling, you was always fighting to try to make it, you was always trying to find those 2 cents to rub together, somebody gives you $1 million, your mindset has to change. Because now you don't have 2 things that you have to rub together. Your mindset has to change. And in order to keep what it is that you have, in order to keep that $1 million, you can't go in the backyard and bury it. You can't go in the backyard and bury it, because, honey, money makes money, baby. It don't work for you unless you using it. Right? So sometimes we have to change our mindset about things. You talking about you want to get married. Okay, you want to get married, and you saying, but men ain't no good, and they this and they that. Woo, 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 woo. But baby cakes, if you don't change your mindset and understand that submission is not laying down, submission is what you do every day at work when you get that paycheck. Submission is following the person that you have already qualified as a leader to run your household. A husband is your house band. He covers and he holds on very tightly. He is the band to the life that you guys are building with each other. So you are qualifying him. Baby, if that means that as you are qualifying people, honey, that you know what you need, but God is saying, no, this is what you should. Because see, this is what you should have. I know what you're saying you need, but this is what you should have, because when it gets down to it, this is who you should be submitting to. This is who you are going to build a life with. This is who, when you guys come into a disagreement, that you trust his leadership enough that you are going to say, even if I don't agree with you, I respect your leadership enough that I'm going along with you on this journey. I know that whatever God has aligned the universe to put inside of you, that leadership, that leader that you are, I'm following you, but you are being led in the way that is most healthy for our union and our generations to come that we will produce. So I'm saying that because that is so important, that a lot of times things don't look like how we planned it out in our needs list, in our path that we made, in our routines. It doesn't look like that sometimes, but that's okay, because sometimes the best laid plans, honey, when you pivot, that's when things, bam, they bust wide open. That is when things bust wide open. That is when the final breakthroughs come in. That is when that thing that you thought was going to be a mountain becomes a molehill. That is when the true essence of who you are, the authentic you, the glorious, beautiful, praising, all of those things that are inside of you that you were holding and on guard with, and you didn't want anybody to know about, or you didn't want to show it because you didn't want to feel weak or things like that. That is when those true things come out. And I am telling you this because I am living it. I am living it, and I know. Let me tell you something. I would not be doing, you know how, oh my goodness, I fought being on video for so long because I always thought I needed somebody with me to do this. I always thought that, you know what, I can't do this by myself. I don't want to be out there like that. I don't want to be out there like that. I don't want to do this by myself. I want somebody else. But let me tell you something. When I knew what I figured that I needed, but God aligned the universe to say, no. This is what you should do, because I'm going to bless you over here. See, I didn't bless you over there. I'm going to bless you over here. This is what I say you should do. And I'm going to put you in a position where you should be doing that. And when I tell you, I have learned so much along this journey. I am enjoying all of the things. And the fact that I get to authentically be me. If I don't want to wear a wig one day, I don't have to. If I don't want to wear makeup one day, I don't have to. If I don't want to put my nails on one day, I don't have to. Why? Because I want you to hear me. I want you not to be distracted by things, but to know that this is the real me. Now, now y'all have, if you roll on over and look at some back stuff, honey, I clean up well. Now, don't get that twisted now. Okay, I clean up well. But what I'm saying is that I want to deliver this in the most authentic version of me, so that you are not distracted from you don't have a distraction. But even if you do, you're welcoming it. So when I do post a picture and I'm all dressed with my hair on, my lashes, or even with my bald head, honey, and I done decided that I want to play in makeup that day, right? When I do post those things as well, I know I'm getting a little bit off track, but we're going to come back around. When I post that, okay, I see what I know, and I connected with her. And so I can appreciate that too, because I know that is not just who she is, that it is way more to it, honey, than what you see on the surface. And that is the important thing. The routines, the things that we do, the lists that we make, the things that are automatic for us, because that's how we design them. Those are the things that we need. Come on, baby. When it comes over to the should, that distraction comes, and welcome it. Welcome it. I'm gonna wrap this up for you. And if you are feeling stuck in a rut, I want you to remember that breaking your routine can be the spark that you need for a fresh start. Embrace the disruptions, welcome the changes, and watch how the new beginning unfolds. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the Ingrid Pink podcast. I want you to stay motivated, stay inspired, stay encouraged, keep moving forward. And until next time, I want you to know that you are awesome. And if you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe, to share. Leave me some comments in the bottom, you guys. Let me know down below what you guys are thinking. Let me know if this helped you at all. I want to provide content that if you happened up on me, that this inspired you in some way. If you like my little cup here, yes, it says gorgeous. It is super cute. I'm gonna take me a little sip before we go. I've been talking a lot, but if you are stuck in a rut, how breaking routine can spark new beginnings, baby, embrace it. Embrace it. Even if it feels uncomfortable, smile about it. I want you to think about the good things that can come from it. And until I see you again next week, or you can go on over to IP's Inside and Out Journey on Facebook. That is my I have a Facebook page that says that, and you can come and join me for my little 90-day. I just come over there and give you a little IP tidbit every single day. Come on over there and check me on out and hear what I have to say each day. Thank you again for joining me. I'm just a regular person, a regular woman. I'm out here, just sharing my thoughts and my feelings and my visions and things that happen in my life. And I'm just out here sharing it with you. And I'm hoping that it helps and that it brings you some peace, some comfort, so that you know that you are not alone and that you always remember how awesome and amazing you are. Bye.